A lot of women don't like this video, and I respect how they feel. Any men that have seen this and you're like, well, he was being honest, don't you guys ask us to be honest?
What's good, people, and welcome on another episode. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing fine. And if you're joining for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in. There is this groom wedding vow that has been going viral. I believe it went viral on Instagram, and then people brought it to TikTok. And trust the people of TikTok to keep it as real as this groom was keeping it in his wedding vow. When they tag something as keeping it to real, you should know that this person has said something a little bit or even very, very embarrassing. There have been so many comments of people saying, if this happens to be me on my wedding day and my husband is saying all of these things, my brothers are going to knock him off. There are so many people saying that will be the end of the relationship. It is from the wedding reception straight to the divorce office. Like, this is not something they see themselves going into with any man. Like, you don't have to embarrass your wife this way and tagging it as a wedding vow. It is going viral. People are coming in on this very one. The men have a different perspective and the women have a different perspective, which is kind of expected. So without wasting much time, let's just get right into it and hear this man's wedding vow and as well what people have to say about his vow.
Me and you. I wish I did it back then, but you know, I just wanted you back. I just wanted to hit back then. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen you. I ain't gonna hold you. You walked on the boat 2009. I saw you, little dark skinned thing. And I'm like, yo, who is that? You know? But you know what? I usually crack a Tracy smile and they come running. You? It took time.
There's no shade to the happy couple, but if you're somebody who sees these videos of men telling their innermost thoughts during their wedding vows, treating their wedding vows like a journal entry, and low-key, maybe even high-key embarrassing their new brides, I think it's okay for you to say, you know what, rather than taking the risk, I'm going to stick with the regular old vows. The old for richer, for poorer, and sickness and in health, till death do us part, as long as we both shall live. Those vows are just good enough, because sometimes when you give a man a pen and a pad, he's going to embarrass you. He's going to tell the whole world, I just wanted to hit. You know what I'm saying? And it's usually easy for me. But, you know, she challenged me. Like, I saw a video recently on Instagram where this man was doing his vows. And he said, I don't know how many of you know this, but our first date lasted 3 days. And the wife looked mortified. She glanced over at her dad and she looked like she wanted the ground to open up and swallow her whole. And he was like, my bad. Not all of these men are wordsmiths, are poets, can write a beautiful soliloquy or a sonnet. Just do the regular vows if you have any doubt about this man, because they will embarrass you. Yes, they will. On your wedding day, yes, they will.
This, boo. For real, me and you. I wish I did it back then, but you know, I just wanted you back. I just wanted to hit back then. I ain't gonna hold you.
So much to unpack in a little bit of time. A lot of women don't like this video, and I respect how they feel. Any men that have seen this and you're like, well, he was being honest, don't you guys ask us to be honest? Fellas, if you was at your wedding and your woman told you at first, I really wasn't rocking with you, I just liked being around you because you always spent money or you always bought me nice things, but then I got to know you, so then I actually wanted to marry you. A lot of men would have an issue with that. This is like the exact same thing. One is just the girl version and one is the boy version. There is a time and a place to relay this information to your spouse if they ask. And at the wedding for vows is not the time. I personally got secondhand embarrassment from watching this. And I will honestly say, for your vows, out of everything in the world you could have said about why you like someone, or even just to start off how you guys met and what your mindset was, the only thing you could think of was, I just thought of you as a booty call. I just wanted to see what was to it. It's not what you say.
I wish I did it back then, but you know, I just wanted you back. I just wanted to hit back then. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen you. I ain't gonna hold you. You walked on the boat 2009. I saw you, little dark skinned thing. I'm like, yo, who is that? You know?
So this may be an unpopular opinion. It's maybe a little controversial. However, I believe that while he is absolutely responsible for his actions and for saying this at his vows, I believe the biggest person here responsible for this sequence of events is the bride. This is not me victim blaming her. This is not me saying it's her fault that he is this way. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that for them to have been in cahoots since 2009, this man has been showing you who he really is. Been showing you. I refuse to believe that this man was the perfect gentleman for the last almost 15 years, and then just decided to hop up on the altar in front of God, you, and your friends and family, and just, oopsie, that, baby, come on. To me, this video is a result from two thought processes that women who tend to not have the highest self-esteem tend to resort to having. And the first thought process is thinking that you are the exception to a man's rule. This man screams player. This man screams love him and leave him. This man screams that he's here for a good time, not a long time. And I think that her goal with this man was to be the woman that makes him change into a husband. Her goal was to not put out quickly like all those other girls and make him work for it. And while you think that might work out in theory, does it really work out in practice? And the second thought process is, if I'm patient and I stay down and I stay loyal, I will win in the end. If I stay patient through his slip-ups, through his mistakes, through his errors, and those errors are infidelity, lying, not being trustworthy, him dragging you through the mud of his emotional growth and maturity process, that I will eventually win what I'm looking for here, which is long-term commitment. Ladies, I'm here to tell you, those two thought processes will hurt you every time, as we can see. Because while he is standing in the groom spot and while he does have on the attire of a groom, this man ain't nobody's husband for real. You did all that waiting, all that patience, all that sacrifice, all of that stifling of your own emotions for the last 14 years, just to have the man you've done it all for remind you and let everyone in the congregation know that he really still only sees you as a piece of coochie. Because while sure he's mentioning that that's how he felt when he first saw her, for him to bring it up during his vows, a time to vow your life and your heart to your life partner, that's what you're bringing up. That's how you still feel. Sorry, not sorry, I don't care. You spent all these years thinking that you were the exception to his rule, and at the altar he is reminding you that, babes, you are not. Mans even went as far as to refer to her as a dark-skinned little thing during the vows. I'm inclined to believe that had she had higher self-esteem and valued herself a little bit more, the minute this part of him was revealed to her, which I'm sure was revealed very early on, deuces. Because no man who actually values you and cherishes you as a person and is honored to be in that spot standing across from you is going to take the time of his vows to let everyone know just how shallow he viewed you when he first laid eyes on you. Ladies, the desperation to be different from all the rest and the desperation for long-term commitment or marriage is a very slippery slope. Very slippery. Desperation can lead you to bypassing your intuition, your self-respect, your pride, your ego, your values, and the things that are really important to you just for the sake of a title and a moment in a white dress. Desperation can also result in you looking the other way whenever you're presented with blaring red flags because you feel as though you've gotten this far and you don't want to have to start all over again. But by ignoring those blaring red flags, you then become responsible in the way this person treats you because they've shown you who they are. And instead of you believing them and moving accordingly, you are looking the other way and allowing for them to continue that behavior towards you. No one deserves to be disrespected in this way in such a beautiful moment, you know? So if you don't want to end up like sis that he's speaking to in this way, work on your desperation if you have it, if you experience it, and work on no longer finding the prize in being an exception to the rule. In fact, learn to honor the rule and remove yourself if the rule doesn't align with how you want to be treated. Because there's nothing honorable about getting with a man who is a dog to all women, but kind to you. Kind to you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I wish I did it back then, but you know, I just wanted you back. I just wanted to hit back then. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen you. I ain't gonna hold you. You walked on the boat 2009. I saw you, little dark-skinned thing. And I'm like, yo, who was that? You know?
No, this isn't going to be a popular opinion, but the reason women keep getting embarrassed like this at the altar is because they think they're the exception. If this man will tell you at the altar All he wanted you for was sex when he first met you. He's told you repeatedly over the course of your relationship he's not interested. But you figured if you could hold on and just keep holding on, eventually you would get the shut-up ring of your dreams. And now you have, in front of all your friends and family. A lot of times you pour sympathy into these women's wounds because it is horrible. It is horrible to be treated like this in perpetuity, where everybody can see for the rest of your life, and for it to go viral is just doubly hurtful. But I keep telling you all, this is the last ditch effort. When the guy gets up and says offensive vows, it's because he's been trying to get rid of you the whole time and you will not take the hint. He's a coward. He's a coward and he's a jerk for using you for the benefits and not being man enough to go after what he really wants. But why would he leave when you make it so easy for him to stay? Even though you're not his type, which he announced. Oh, I saw you little dark skin thing. I said, who is that? This man clearly has some colorism issues because he said what? He just wanted to use you for sex. So we know his type is not you, but you're clearly beautiful. You're so pretty. He wanted to get with you physically. It was enough for him to overlook his preference for the night. But now you've hung around for 15 years, letting him misuse you at will. A lot of women get my comments every day and tell me how I don't know their situation. Oh, well, see, I waited 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and my man loves me. See, it was just that he had to go to the moon first. We couldn't get married until he had explored the depths of the ocean. See, the reason why he couldn't propose first was that he was trying to find a cure for cancer and feed all the hungry children. You all always have every excuse in the world, and it's always something so esoteric. It reminds me of back when Brad and Angelina claimed they weren't getting married because they didn't want to get married until their gay friends had the right to get married too. At the time, that didn't seem like it was going to happen in our lifetime. If a man has an excuse, especially when he's been previously married, it's just that, an excuse. And I hope with time you've seen the unfolding of their relationship and realized it was never all that. It was always a mess behind closed doors. And that's what this was too. A lot of women just want the validation. They don't want to admit to their mother, to their friends, to their family who said this guy was never really that interested, that they were right. So they figure, I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to take whatever he dishes out as long as he gives me that one moment of sweet, sweet validation in front of everybody where I get to be the beautiful bride. But he's never going to let you have that moment. And it's just not worth it. But this is why the scene at the altar often turns into a humiliation ritual. I'm betting a guy like this has done it all in the lead up to the altar. You know, he has cheated on you. He has been insulting. He has been abusive. He's done everything he can to show his disinterest and disrespect, how he doesn't value you as a person. And he knows that the one thing that's going to strike at most women's hearts is their ego. To be decimated like this in front of family and friends and made a laughingstock. And that's why so often, like the keep my balls empty and my belly full guy, you have multiple children, you've been together for a decade or over a decade, like these people, and he's just been continually insinuating, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you. And the gag is, he's not even some of that. This man is literally up here in a purple suit like the frickin' Joker or Darkwing Duck to get married. Turn to your neighbor and say, yikes, this is what you made all the sacrifices for, girl? Ooh, enough. I'm both happy and sad we don't get to see the bride in this viral clip. She doesn't deserve any more humiliation. But I need women to see the evidence with their own eyes. These women are always 10 times more attractive than the guys they're with. You don't have to chase a man around, and they're not like women. They are not going to grow in love. It's just not possible. They know from the outset, either they want you or they don't. And if a man ever says he grew to love you, it means he grew to tolerate you. He was in a down place and you had something that he needed. But he will never like you. He will always resent you for having what he needed and not being whatever his dream girl was. And FYI, the dream girl is often based on his own insecurities. I tell you, the darkest men are the most colorist. The largest men are the most sizest because they hate themselves. So don't take on that burden. You're worth so much more than that. Ladies, please believe, okay? That's why I show you these clips. Fat meat is greasy. Men do not change. And if you don't heed the warning, you're going to have to live the experience in front of the whole world. And is that really what you want? That's it. Like and follow for more.
Wish I did it back then, but you know, I just wanted you back. I just wanted to hit back then. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen you. I ain't gonna.
I truly pray, dear Heavenly Father God, I pray that I never experience a love like this. Lord, please keep away lustful, disrespectful men. In Jesus' name I pray. This man hates his wife, his new wife. He hates her, okay? And she clearly was not his first choice. He had to settle for her. Like, that was not his first option. He had to settle for her, and he's not going to let her forget. He's going to take every moment to embarrass her, belittle her, make her feel less of herself, because she's not the one that he wanted. And before y'all say, you don't know these people, in the full video, he says they met in 2009. So from 2009 to 2024, probably just been stringing this girl along, hoping that the actual girl that you want comes along, and you have to settle for her because now you old, and now you just gotta, get what you can get. And so you decide, oh, I'm gonna embarrass her because I resent her because she's not the one that I wanted. I would much rather have my husband smash cake in my face softly than to get up in front of my parents, my grandparents, my family, my friends, in front of me, in front of God, and say that I just wanted to smash when I met you. That I was just lying to you, telling you what you wanted to hear because I wanted to hit.
Think about that vow? What do you think about what that man is saying to his wife and to the whole family at large on their wedding day? How is it so okay to wait for someone for 15 years? And on the altar, this is what they have to say, and this is how they address you, like a little black thing, and all they wanted to do was to eat. Like I said, from the guy's perspective, it was a different point of view. The guy in the stitch mentioned how so many guys were saying, but you all want men to be, honest and truthful and be open, and now they are being open, and you guys still have a problem about that. And I would like to hear what you guys think about people who see it that way, because they are saying you all want men to be honest. Now a man is being honest, and you all are attacking him and not liking what he said. So let me hear what you guys think about that. But waiting solidly 15 years to be with someone and for them to get on the altar where your family and friends and people that don't even like you, because not everybody at your wedding are going to like you, are there to just embarrass you that way is a bit somehow. This person said so many people are saying they would have left at the altar. I am like, she's already on elderly attached, and I think two creators actually pointed that out, that you gave this man this pass to embarrass you this way on your wedding day. Another person said, we as women have to remember what we allow is what we continue. I learned this the hard way. Never again. Ladies, please let's all remember our what? Like six, stand the F up. We have to stop giving grace and allowing men to take our good years away just for them to settle on us. Give us a ring and then play in our face on the big day. Like, he literally said, the way he was even talking to her felt like, okay, take this shut up ring. You've waited and clinged along for so long. Let me give you this shut up ring. Because if he was someone who he was genuinely like into and like, people believe that so many of the statements he made in that vow would not have come out, or even if he had that and even have respect for this woman, that shouldn't be something that you'll be saying in the presence of family, friends, and just the people at the wedding. Another person said, coming from an older woman's perspective, that young lady did not want to start over just for him to marry the next one within a year. She has been in the gold together Olympics for 15 years, and she wasn't going to lose, and she's not starting over. Yes, the fear of starting over is a thing. So many people have talked about how the fear of starting over made them stay longer in relationship that they are supposed to have left for so long. Another person said, there is no reward for being ride or die. It will not change, nor will it value you or the effort. Lesson learned. Another one said, she already said she's going to stick beside him. Yes, towards the end of the speech, when he almost finished, there was something she said, like, as you should. And, that is even sparking a reaction. Like, you are saying, you are even encouraging him, you are edging him on. And that is the reason why he continues to disrespect you. She already said she's going to stick beside him. I believe men who say foul things in their vows are definitely going to be divorced. It happened to my friend. They did not last 10 years. The last one said, the wedding, shut up ring. Marriage aren't prizes you have won when you've lost yourself. I hate to see women through struggle like a badge or cape. Let me hear what you guys think about what these people are saying. Let me hear what you think about the vow as well. And let me hear what you think in general. Do you think the men saying you all want men to be honest and now they are honest, you guys have a problem with it? Do you think they are right? Or what do you think about what the women are saying about this situation as well? Have this chat down below and I will catch you guys in the next episode.